And welcome back. Welcome back to the Shield Against Midnight, a Call of
It's the
Cthulhu
Shield
game
Against Midnight.
set in 1969.
We went to the moon in 1969.
Oh god. Great, now you guys are gonna have to go to the moon and fight Cthulhu.
Okay.
Gotta fist fight him though.
Can
Or
I
with
be an
chainsaw.
astronaut?
Oh shit, I forgot to mute the, oopsie. Forgot to mute the sound on the stream. Alrighty. So, welcome back everybody. Would anybody like to give a brief synopsis? What the hell is that?
I got my first real six string. Oh, it out the five and dime. Played it till my fingers bled. Was the summer of '69.
Oh, wow.
All right, now I'm done.
That
Fucking legend.
Yeah,
was
throw your phone against
amazing.
the wall.
That was amazing. Okay, it's over. Campaign's done. Can't get better than that. Good night, everybody.
Hey guys, it was really great
Really good.
having this campaign with you.
My favorite part was when we like fisted Cthulhu to death.
On the moon.
My
the
favorite
moon.
part when it was panicked, thinking it's like, man, I hope Brian Adams mentioned '69 early in this song.
Alright. Would anybody like to give a brief synopsis of what happened last session for those of us who were not here?
Well,
There's a YouTube video, and if you go to youtube.com/LocusSamander,
Thank
we will
you.
be there.
Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate you. You are so helpful. Just the most helpful person in the universe.
okay. Let's
You have
see.
permission to
Jay's
throw something
character
at
was
him?
being talkative as fuck, being a smooth talker. I was being super charming, and Dan's character was being pleasantly confused.
Okay, that's a bit of a better synopsis. So,
All right, so we are playing three characters, essentially CIA agents. Two of them being Carmen Diego and Chase. I don't believe he has a last name, just the code name Chase. Being CIA insiders, ones that have worked on previous missions before. Plus a Dr. Parvana Kavadar, who is a Iranian immigrant brought into this. They are going to investigate a listening post that has went silent in just the center of kind of West Berlin.
mhm.
To get there, they of course had to take a train, carefully crossing Soviet lines through Soviet inspections, and mainly kept on the track. Well, by the fact that it was a train and it goes on track, but their mission kept on track by the fact that they mostly stuck to their cover, which of being Chase, a photographer, a fashion photographer, going to do a series of shoots in Berlin. They successfully went in, looked to hotels, and decided to actually rent out two hotels. One, a high-class one, and the other, a backup, just to make sure that they would have multiple coverage when it comes to their cover. Ultimately, at the end of it, they decided to hold up their cover as, kind of very Western, very on the town people of fashion photographers and models, went out on a night on the town, leaving us to where we were at the end point of the stream last week, when we made a series of rolls to determine how their crazy night went, which brings us to where we are right now.
And what a crazy night it was. Now,
We got crunk.
you did get crunk. Now, the one
Do
thing
you have lean?
I will add to that is that, in addition to checking on the listening post, you have also the sort of subtask of making contact with the old man by the river, who was to be your point for removing intel as well as receiving hard intel from your superiors. As well as, since you came in by train, you could not carry with you any weapons. However, the CIA assured you that you have a contact at the U.S. Air Base inside West Berlin who will help you receive some weaponry. So, those are sort of the side goals that have been set aside for you. But, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about how that night at the club went. Because we sort of ended with talking about the lively Berlin nightlife in the 1960s. Very big on prescription medication of all things. A lot of pill popping. Of course, there was always the cannabis and alcohol as well.
Wait, can I make a bonus roll then?
For cannabis?
No, you cannot. You are getting such a big present. I'm not letting you get it any bigger.
Okay.
Whoa.
You
You
get
took his big present,
yeah. You're gonna get a nice big present, my friend.
Okay.
my friend.
I will set that and let you give me the present.
Okay. So, when we ended last session, I kind of had to take a step back and figure out what I was gonna do with all your rolls. Well, Jay successfully did a spot hidden roll. So Chase was able to find you a nice high-class nightclub, the kind with live music, dancing, a fully stocked bar, a wonderful bumpin' nightclub where you could really get in and enjoy the scene. And the ladies, you two really did get in and enjoy the scene. Even Paravna, who not really exposed to this so much, Carmen's infectious optimism really pulled you into the dance, the music, until
She's into it.
you came across a hen party.
Oh.
And for those unfamiliar, a hen party is basically the last night before a woman is married. Everybody goes out, has a bunch of drinks. It's basically the opposite of a bachelor party. It's a bachelorette. Yeah, bachelorette party is another term for it.
I've been to those.
And this was just absolutely lively bachelorette party. You fit in immediately. Between the little bit of alcohol in your system and just that natural charm of Carmen, you blended right in nicely. Chase, on the other hand, not so lucky. Poor Chase, a little bit excluded. Didn't quite make it into the hen party. But still good drinks. Had a good time enjoying watching from a distance with his camera. The reason that's going to be important is because you met somebody at this hen party. Somebody you made fast friends with over a table full of prescription drugs.
Hey.
And as you all popped a strange pink pill that Paravna could have identified on a good day, but hey, we're hanging a little bit loose tonight. You all the three of you settled in together and just had a great time. Fantastic time together. Now this lady's name was one Elizabeth, I've already forgotten the last name. Elizabeth Strauss, a West Berlin native. And she was happy to tell you all about herself. So, the three of you, even as the hen party broke up and the bride-to-be went off on her own, or went off for the night, and everybody started settling in, you two kept the party going.
Skippy.
Ends up, the three of you, back in your hotel room, in the one room that the three ladies were sharing, just passed out. It was a nice, long, fun night. Ended in your hotel room. Just a group of girls having a good time, really. Now, all of that is well and good. The only hang-up is that Miss Elizabeth Strauss' full title is Staff Sergeant Elizabeth Strauss. She's actually I shouldn't say Staff Sergeant, Desk Sergeant Elizabeth Strauss. She's employed with the local Berlin Police Department. And they don't necessarily look well upon police officers doing drugs, getting rowdy with strange foreign women, and spending a night in their hotel room. And Chase, at first what might seem like misfortune to you that you were a little bit excluded from that party, it actually gave you the perfect camera angles to catch this police officer in the act of enjoying these illegal drugs and spending this time with these strange foreign women and leaving with them to their hotel room. You now have very solid evidence against this Miss Elizabeth Strauss. Not the kind of evidence that is really going to make her career. Could break it, though, if you so chose. All in all, a very successful night for our party. Very successful. And
That seems unfair.
on the note of that success and Miss Elizabeth Strauss, Miss Desk Sergeant Elizabeth Strauss, we have a guest with us tonight. Angie will be playing the part of the NPC, Desk Sergeant Elizabeth Strauss.
Oh my god, I'm so excited! Oh my god, Angie's gonna be Elizabeth Strauss. Okay.
Now, the ladies are going to be sleeping in. After a night like that, who really has the heart to wake them up? But Chase, on the other hand, at sharply 7 o'clock on the dot, you hear a rapping on the door, followed quickly by a not too enthused voice muttering through the wood. "Sir, this is your wake-up call you ordered from the desk. I have your newspaper and coffee."
Chase just sort of curses in French under his breath, walks over to the door, leans just his head outside, but his chin is kind of sliding down the door as he opens and looks outside. "In what time zone?" he asks in German.
Local. German.
German. Oh, shit. Chase closes the door, unlocks the little thing, opens it up, stretches. Coffee?
Yes, sir.
Good coffee?
The finest. This is a very high-end hotel, I'll have you know. Long legacy.
Chase takes the coffee, little, maybe a little too strongly from her, and the newspaper as well, and says, thank you. But, do you have one in French next time?" He sort of taps the newspaper against the door.
I'm sure we can come up with something, sir. I apologize for the inconvenience.
"Thank you." And he just slams the door.
Oh, jeez, Chase.
Goes inside, he throws the newspaper into the bathroom where his dark room is half set up. Doesn't even read it, and sits down with the coffee on the bed. Takes a quick drink. What do I guess I gotta roll luck for that, huh?
Roll luck for taking a quick drink of coffee?
No, is it good or bad coffee?
No, this is a high-end hotel. It is.
Oh, okay.
It is. It's maybe not the best coffee you've ever had. It's not like a fine
It's not
Belgian
the coffee
press.
from Thailand, dude. I'm telling you that much. That shit was
Well,
bull
never
crap.
mind. It is a fine Belgian press, Jay.
Well, no, I was rolling luck
Or
to see how
French.
much of a bad taste he had left over in his mouth from
Oh, okay.
It's a decent taste.
It's not that bad of a taste.
Decent coffee. Chase
Congrats,
smiles and
bruh.
perks up and says, "Maybe I won't slam the door next time."
Yeah.
Puts the coffee down and heads towards the bathroom.
Did he
to get
slam the
newspaper.
coffee down, or did he put it down?
No, he just sets it on the edge of the bed.
Yeah. Just we're
Yeah.
good here.
No, just pulls a Thor. Another.
Yeah. It just goes everywhere. They'll clean it. It's all right.
So, what time last night did they get back?
You mean
Probably
this time this morning?
close to
Oh.
6 a.m.
I believe we didn't.
You've probably the ladies have probably only been asleep for about 2 hours.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Oh no! Haravi with the body still asleep with me? Oh no!
You've gotten a little bit more sleep because once they retired to their hotel room, you knew they were still awake, but you got the pictures of the police officer going in.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Before-
That's why I asked how long, because film takes a certain amount of time to
Yeah.
set the developer. So
Yeah.
that would be done. That would be washed and fixed by this point. So he could
Mhm.
pretty much start making prints at any point now. But he's gonna get dressed first.
Absolutely.
Nice sweater, pants.
Tactical turtleneck.
No, there's a time and a place for a tactical turtleneck. It's not quite yet.
But you have one.
Oh yes.
100%.
Several.
Absolutely.
High thread count.
So he's going to go pick up the phone, and he's going to ring to the other room, and he's not even going to hold it to his ear. He's just going to literally set the phone ringing to the next room on the desk, and then walk back and work in the dark room.
Well, ladies, you've retired for the night,
Mm-hmm.
but now, as morning, the sun has risen, and actually, you do have an appointment to meet with the old man by the river in about 2 hours. The phone is now ringing in your room. And it's
Okay.
ringing. And it's ringing.
Okay. So, right now, Carmen is the first to stir. She's had binges before. It's nothing new.
Real quick question before we get into that, though, ladies.
Hmm.
What is the sleeping arrangement for tonight? You had a room with 2 twin beds for 2 ladies, but now you have 3 ladies sharing that room after your little bit of a bender. How did that all end up?
How did that end up, buddy?
Am I
What about your
just
buddy guy?
am I just like on my face between the beds or something, or am I in bed
I
with
mean,
somebody?
Oh,
You
you're
could-
definitely in bed with somebody.
Okay, so she's definitely in bed with somebody. Are you volunteering, Carmen? Is she in bed with you?
Yes. Tribute.
Okay. Well then.
Hey, Angie.
Yes.
Let's do this. Let's make our dreams come true via our characters. Let's go.
Come dream with me tonight.
So where is everybody? So whereas we got to the room about 2 hours ago, we've only been asleep for an hour, right?
No,
Yeah.
you've only been asleep for about
Okay.
2 hours. You did come back to the room about 4 or 5 o'clock, and it's now 7? No, actually, you've probably been asleep about 2 hours, a little less, maybe. You haven't slept very much.
Apparently.
Is that
First
phone
sister.
ringing?
So okay, so then where did Chase sleep?
In his room.
In
In
his
his
room.
yeah, he has his own
alone.
room.
Okay, so I got a bed to myself.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Giggity.
Okay, we figured out the sleeping arrangement. Carmen stirs at the sound of the phone.
Yep. Her arm kind of lashes out, fumbles around, picks it up.
She just
Um,
hears a distant sound from the bathroom. Sweet mystery of life, at last I found you. Just
Abruptly hangs up the phone and
in an
starts
absolute
weeping.
horrible tenor.
Yes. She just fucking hangs it up and just just curses under her breath, rubs her eyes. All right. She looks
Eh.
back at the pillow longingly.
Yeah. As she wakes up, I'm slowly opening my eyes. Just, what the fuck? And then fall off the bed.
Oh God. Well, she just fell off the bed. It's gonna be a great day. So,
Between the thump and the phone, I will start to stir as well.
Carmen looks down. She's not wearing very much. Just a shirt. She has to correct that if she's going to, continue with the day. She also checks to see if Elizabeth is all right. She did just fall off the bed. She kind of crawls back on the bed, peeks over. Are you okay?
I'm open. Yeah, I do it every morning. Don't worry.
Every morning. That's surprising. All right. Well, she excuses herself to the bathroom. She has lots to catch up on in the beauty department.
At some point, you hear him mutter, "We all wake up every morning."
You know, can't argue with that logic. Not even a bit.
Not even a scotch.
That is 100% solid logic. We do wake up every morning. I mean, except when we're dead, but you know.
Logic points.
Maybe the dead do wake up.
Oh God, no.
Sorry. So now the ladies are starting to stir. Chase. Sorry. Totally
Character name?
Yep, totally screwed up.
The burning hopes, the joy and idle tears that fall. For
God.
'tis love and love alone the world is seeking.
It's awful.
Well, you all have about 2 hours before you are due to meet with the old man for just your... Oh god, the word that came up immediately to my head was absolutely the wrong word. Like, holy crap, my brain could not have been more wrong in that sentence.
Woohoo!
Just the introductory meeting. Obviously, he is going to be your liaison and your main contact with the bigger company. So, this is sort of your introduction to him. You've got about 2 hours to that. How are you going to spend that time? I know Chase seems to be busy developing some lovely photos. Miss Elizabeth is hugging the floor, trying to make it stop spinning. How are Paravna and Carmen going to spend their time?
So I guess the night before we get to establish, like, what, since it was a night together, what that group of people spoke.
Absolutely.
So, like, was Carmen doing the translation for Paravna, or...
As best as she could, probably. I mean, if it was French...
It'd mostly be
French
German.
and Russian. See, I would know French and Russian, so somebody would probably... There would be a language barrier, but I feel like somebody in the group would know enough of something.
Yeah, like, what were people mostly speaking at the bachelorette party?
Mostly
Oh,
German.
Jesus.
Mostly German.
That being said, once it hit the point of you arriving to the bachelorette party, you were inebriated enough and they were inebriated enough that you were speaking a common language.
Heck yes.
The language of shit.
Drink.
Exactly. Anybody who's ever been to a bar with German people knows that once they get a couple of beers into them, they can speak any language they damn well want.
That's not frightening at all.
No, it's
Alright, well,
hilarious.
I'm gonna say that Paravna's gonna be able to. She is a trained modern doctor. She had to spend some time on very little sleep in residencies, etc., etc. That she's not in the best shape, but she's not just going to drag her feet. She's going to be able to get out of bed and maybe not go right to the butte routine as Carmen did, but pull her hair back and kind of loom over Elizabeth and just give in the best mutual language she can muster, just say, like, all right.
Well, okay.
Is your character alright?
I'm standing up. Just give me a minute. She reaches up and carefully pulls herself off the ground. She's standing.
It rises.
Told you the dead would come back.
There's a sharp knock at the door.
Oh.
Paravna will open it.
It's Chase
She'll
standing there
look
smiling.
through the thing, obviously, first, but she'll go to the door and see Chase and open the door.
Chase
Chase!
just smiles. then immediately frowns because you didn't use his cover ID. Then smiles again because he pulls and hands you a manila envelope and says, "Your pictures are done. Enjoy, madams." And then walks away.
Oh God.
He is a menacing little shit.
I can't even remember anybody's cover IDs from 2 weeks ago.
It's Willem.
It's Willem.
Yeah. His actual real name is Jonathan Chasseur, but he's gone as Chase since he was about, like, knee-high. Because no kid in Oak Ridge, Tennessee could pronounce the word Chasseur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If that's the case, she's going to take a quick look at the whatever Chase passed to her.
They're hard success photography rolls from last night.
They
And
Yeah, bitches.
then just tuck them away and then walk into the bathroom where Carmen is.
She's
and
taking a
then-
shower. She's tucked away in the shower. Fuck that.
She's going to knock on the door.
Yep.
I think the word pictures has
She
waken me
really
up a
would
bit
not
more
care.
if this is really bad part of if I really shouldn't be caught doing stuff like that. So
No, that would absolutely decimate your career if that got out.
okay,
That's
then yeah,
bad
I'm
news.
a shit ton more awake from hearing that word.
So she looks a lot more awake.
But yeah,
Like a little astonished. A little. Or...
I'm trying to follow the pictures, so I'm following Prava to the.
Now that I remember it, would have introduced herself as Yasmin.
Oh, Yasmin. Okay, I'm following Yasmin,
Just spy shit.
trying to figure out what in the world he meant by pictures, because surely he did not mean pictures of last night.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Pravana's going to continue knocking on the bathroom door.
yeah.
And keep
You
the
know,
picture.
I told you could come in like 5 minutes ago.
There's like an awkward standoff where Elizabeth and
Yeah.
Yasmin are just
Looking
standing at
each
the
other.
door.
Like I totally said, like you can come in. It's all right.
Okay, she comes in and then closes the door behind her.
Yes.
Probably smart.
What's going on?
We had a bit of a visitor. And then she takes out kind of the envelope and then shows and then kind of pulls out, careful not to get them too wet or damaged.
Oh no,
the
she
photos.
flicks off the water and rings open the shower curtain. What? Oh, a white in the night. I see. Those are good pictures. Shit.
Yeah, they're very clear.
Yeah. I should hire him for family photography later on down the road. Anyway, I take it she doesn't like that. She whispers very quiet,
Just for the record, real quick, the two of you would be speaking in French, I would assume, since you both
Yeah.
have French.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, jeez, what languages do
I
you
have
teach?
Russian and French.
We'd be speaking in Russian then.
Okay.
I can't speak to you in
No,
innuendo.
actually, that's not true. You both have English. You could either speak in both English or Russian.
We're gonna speak
Russian.
in English.
Oh,
Okay.
Russian, English, Russian.
100% we're gonna speak in English.
Okay, so yeah, I take it she doesn't
Okay.
like that, but she's whispering.
Let's not make somebody suspicious.
Hey,
She was
why
already
don't I just
suspicious
whip
by
out some
speaking in
Finnish
Russian.
while I'm at it, okay?
All right.
I just
For the
speak
record,
Finnish.
now that we've established we're speaking in English, Elizabeth, if you're listening at the door trying to figure out where those pictures went, the language is enough of a barrier that you are not... Actually, why don't you give me a listen check? Let's do that real quick. See if you can hear anything at all. So open up the character sheet, look for the listen skill. There you go. You can hear them. Okay, so you can hear them. You can actually hear them very well. Problem though is, they are speaking a language you do not speak, so you're only catching a few words out of it. Sorry.
Which words?
Well, finish the conversation real quick. I didn't mean to interrupt the middle of it. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Keep people active. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, she's starting to.
Kind of looks. This is your area of expertise here.
Is it? All right. Well, she starts drying off her hair. She has raccoon eyes really bad because she didn't even try to wash her face very well. But she doesn't really care at this point. I guess I'll have to. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Well, I'll convince her otherwise. She was pretty open to suggestion last night anyway.
We need help.
Yeah, we need help. Is it reading the news in French?
Yes, they found him a French newspaper.
Yes.
Is somebody gonna go get Chase since he's the only one of you that speaks German? To talk to this German officer?
So I don't know any other language, right?
You can pick up a little bit of English, but your touch on language is not very good outside of German, no.
That's a bummer.
Yep, we are actually going to have to go get Chase.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you're more clothed at the moment. Between the two of us, I have a towel on my head and on my body. You should go get Chase, and I'll have a lovely chat with the.
I'll go find Chase.
Yeah,
You keep her on keel.
I will definitely do that. Okay.
Alright. Now, real quick. Chase.
Yes.
There is actually a very interesting front page story about a serial graffiti artist drawing very disturbing graffiti all over the city has finally been captured.
Is it Lukowski?
Lukowski's not even in Berlin. Also, that man has all the artistic talent of a wet potato thrown at a wall.
I feel like he would draw like angry sandwiches, like grotesque angry sandwiches on the wall or something.
All right. New question: is it Lou Banksy?
If I hadn't already given you a gold coin for that introduction you did earlier today, you would have gotten a gold coin for that pun right there. That beautiful. Beautiful.
You have to change your Discord name now. Sorry.
Oh, 100%, yes.
Oh, God.
So, serial graffiti artist is the top news article at
Well,
the beginning of the Vietnam conflict
it's a local
in
news.
West Berlin.
It's a local newspaper, and also the graffiti was incredibly disturbing. There are a few
Well, I
pictures.
guess it's in French, so it really offended the French
It absolutely.
sensibilities.
It absolutely offended the French sensibilities. But it is a French rag. It seems to be one of the more gossip related than world politics related. And the front page story is about apparently some graffiti artist drawing very disturbing and lurid images all across Berlin has finally been apprehended and is currently being held in police custody.
For the 30 douche mark fine, I'm assuming.
Honestly, at this point with their economy, it'd probably be like more like 30,000. I mean, it's not World War I levels of inflation, but
Yeah, we're not Weimar Republic.
the Reichsmark is not doing well right now. Anyways, so now we've got Carmen trying to keep Elizabeth in the room and distracted while Paravna goes and gets Chase.
All right.
How are you going to keep her calm and distracted, Anna?
Well, so I suppose she, gets out of the bathroom, and after she's cleaned off her raccoon eyes, all that whatnot, and she just, she acts as, as calm and normal as possible, I suppose. She's not trying to blow the situation or make it seem like it's not an issue. She knows that the those pictures exist, and she knows why the other person would be a little sore about it. It's good to tread lightly, but not too lightly. So she says, she just kind of flops on the bed and, takes the hair turban down and kind of fluffs her hair a little bit, and she says, "Good morning."
Well, you understand good out of that, Angie. It's close enough to Guten that you got that, and you can kind of
She also
understand.
has a
Right.
very French accent right now because she's, she's Sabina, so.
You get the intention of what she's saying, if
I
not the
get
exact,
intention.
if not the exact translation.
Okay, where are the pictures at? Did Yasmin take them out with her, or does Carmen have them? Would I be focused on them, or how easily?
Paravna has them with her.
So as I left, I kind of just gave a nod and held up the empty coffee cups and then left.
Okay, so I take it that though I don't see you leave with them, you have them hidden somewhere?
Yeah, she's using that as more of a distraction, the coffee cups.
Yeah,
Okay,
implying that she's
I'm
going to
just-
go get coffee.
Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna turn around and say good morning back, but of course, language barrier is wonderful.
All right.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen. I
Actually,
take it that you slept well? Did you? She kind of holds up her hand, kind of sleeps on it for a second. Good? Do you sleep good? She just kind of stops. How the hell did they talk to each other last night?
Alcohol.
Because there was really good fun, yeah.
You can't
Drugs.
see it, but I did the friends scissoring motion.
Yup.
Oh, great!
Just bang the two fists together. That's how they communicated.
That's
It's like-
exactly how they did it.
Can I do a charm roll?
Absolutely. See if you can charm her into staying in the room and staying calm.
Okay. Let's see. Charm. Whack.
Not quite successful because of the language barrier. That would have been a hard success.
May I explain what that charm roll might have done? Like the
Sure.
action behind it.
Okay, go ahead.
So she just kind of giggles and stands up and just kind of walks over to her and just very, very slowly reaches up a hand and just grazes it through her hair and says, I slept well. And, she even, kind of did the little motion again, I slept very well. And implying that it was probably from her. Last night was great.
Alright. I'll give that to you because that's mostly pantomime instead of verbal.
Mm-hmm.
You are charmed, Angie. Apparently that what's the word I'm looking for? That allure that brought you into her bed last night, it's still there.
I'm
Honey.
I lean into her and just kind of go back into my drunken haze, figuring that the pictures surely weren't from last night or anything. Just
Damn, I needed to forget for a second.
I am willing to be charmed, I guess.
Excellent.
Just lean in.
I am so looking forward to Chase bursting this bubble.
Oh,
Yeah.
me too.
This is
Also,
really
I
exciting.
just want to put this out there. Everybody watching the stream, you're welcome for the fucking fan service. All right, this is a good stream. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Well, she just kind of smiles and takes her seat again, and she kind of looks around, not really knowing that Pravna went to go get coffee or anything. She know that she went to go get Chase, so she kind of looks around for the coffee cup, but is just kind of bummed out that there isn't anything there. Do you coffee? Like, is there any out of character? Does coffee sound similar in French or German at all?
I have absolutely no idea.
Let's go to Google.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good idea.
We're gonna
Sorry,
look
Mom,
that
I'm
up
busy.
real quick.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
All right. She
Okay,
says
cool.
Cafe
coffee.
versus cafe.
There you go. So she lifts up her hand in a cafe and she said, "Where is the coffee?" I thought this was, and then she kind of mumbles to herself in French. I thought this was a high class establishment. This sucks. So, that part was just kind of to herself. But, anywho. How's Straussy Mousy over there?
I have no idea.
Okay.
She's never had to do this. On top of this, we put her in arguably one of the hardest scenes to roleplay for someone just starting this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This
This is a bit of the deep end.
Yeah.
Sorry.
At least it's just me. You're just getting all sorts of churmid. Churmled.
All right, let's say Bravana and Chase at this point. She's able to find him in the lobby.
And they return.
She goes down to him and says, "How's the coffee?"
Excellent. He kind of flips the newspaper noisily as he's reading an article and says, "So I take it the language of love has failed you at this point?"
It's never done well for me in the past.
Sad. We gotta get you out more. Anyways, you might want to get those coffees filled. Our guests are gonna need probably both of those.
Absolutely.
So once Yasmin has the coffee, Willem will go back up. He'll knock on the door twice, wait, knock twice again. And Chase's usual quote-unquote secret door knock.
Oh. Well, he's probably just gonna let himself in anyway, so yeah. She doesn't get up to go get it.
Chase stands there because he doesn't have a key to their door.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's-
sucks.
That's kind of
You remember the trademark nose bridge pinch from last session? You kind of just see that as she hands him one of the coffees and unlocks the door and opens it.
Chase just sort of saunters it off, comes in, and says, "Good morning, Staff Sergeant," and hands her the coffee. In German, of course.
You can understand now.
Now you understand what's going on, Angie. He's speaking your language.
And I'm fucked. I was
Literally.
just well, no, that's what we did last night probably. But I just turn around in shock. I'm not really sure what to say to that.
So I see you've seen the pictures. He motions towards her
I-
beautiful companion on the bed.
What pictures?
Oh,
There
I'm
was-
sorry. Yasmin, do you have the pictures?
She hands you the folder you gave her earlier.
He just hands her a rather thick manila envelope of photos.
Well, there goes my charm out the window. Made her forget about the pictures, and now pictures are in her hand.
I'm eyeing this envelope, wondering if I could take it from them.
They're yours. You may take it from me. But I should tell you, I'm not here to simply make you feel uncomfortable. Last night party was a beautiful thing, and people had many times, but I do need to tell you something specifically.
What is it you need to tell me?
Well, first off, my two compatriots here are really nothing more than hired assistants. They don't work with me, but I'm a member of the Federal Ministry of the Interior. We've been hearing a lot of reports of corruption and potentially treasonous acts taking place within the police department in Berlin. Federal Ministry of Interior, basically the internal affairs for all of Germany.
That's heavy shit.
Oh, jeez. I am actually gonna require a roll on that one from both of you. Jay, I'm gonna need a fast talk roll. Angie, I'm gonna need a psychology roll.
Oh.
Okay, Jay, you are successful. You don't get any sort of bonus. Technically you failed your roll, but considering that she failed hers by a much wider margin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, Angie, you have no reason to believe him, but you have no reason to not believe him either. And he seems very serious.
Well, whether she believes me or not, I literally just handed her photos of committing a crime as a staff sergeant in the police.
That he did.
Sexy crimes.
Now, normally we would just ask for help, but I don't think you are quite aware of how serious some of these potential claims are. We need someone who's motivated to assist us.
Angie?
Motivated.
Are you feeling motivated, punk?
Motivated by blackmail?
By any means necessary. I don't think you understand the threat of communism in our little sector of Berlin. We're surrounded, if you hadn't noticed.
What is it that you need from me?
Right now, I don't know. Simply, I was given the operational assignment in order to get certain information as may be required for the ongoing investigation. So, really, right now, I don't need anything from you. Except I would recommend drinking the coffee. It is fantastic.
I'm really interested in that coffee now as a human being outside of this game.
It's a lovely French press.
I think I'm going to decline your offer of coffee.
Suit yourself. Quite a loss, really. I was quite impressed.
Impressed? Pressed coffee? I'll go home now. See ya. Well, I know that Sabina would love a cup of coffee, and she assumes that the other one that her friend Yasmin has is for her. So she just kind of reaches out for it and takes a sip home. This is good coffee. Holy crap.
It's very good coffee.
Yeah, this coffee. What kind of coffee is it?
It's a nice French press.
Nice French press.
Jesus Christ.
And she just kind of remarks in French, French coffee's the best.
Either way, what we're drinking is irrelevant.
At least they're pressed.
Yeah.
What we're drinking is irrelevant. We have very clear evidence of not only misaction taken by you, both in compromised and uncompromised position, And the fact of the matter comes down to the point that we will eventually need to call on you. It's very hard to get anyone within the police department, the thin blue line, to talk about people they suspect without proper, as I've said before, motivation.
Can I think back to both looking back on it and trying to identify the effects of whatever prescription pill they took last night?
You're basically trying to figure out what they had last night.
Yes.
Yeah, give me a... That's going to be a hard medicine roll, because you were already drinking by the time the prescription medication came out. So you're not only calling on memory, you're calling on drunken memory.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, of course. Not...
Not only did you give me the better roll of the two I could have used.
Like, he rolled a 2 and a 3. Oh my god.
Which puts it as an extreme success on any level.
Absolutely. You're gonna need to give me, like, 2 minutes, so please finish up this scene, because I'll be honest, I don't know my prescription medication from 1969 off the top of my head. I'll be perfectly honest with you there.
Can we... Well, why don't we just say that she recognizes that something that
Are there Quaaludes?
that is heavy and should not be easily available outside of very, very specific prescriptions.
And
That
certainly
absolutely.
not be consumed by a staff sergeant of the police.
Absolutely. Those are all absolutely true things. Yes.
To which is information she then can pass on to Willem/Chase.
And now to complicate even further. I realize you're hesitant and it's hard to come to terms with this, but if you need to contact me, you can leave a message for Inspector Jacobs at this hotel at the front desk. And he hands her what would be a business card, but it's blank and just written in pen, is Inspector Jacobs, BMI, which is the German word for Federal Ministry of the Interior, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce, so sorry. And just gives her the card. And that's the number for the front desk of the hotel they have as backup.
She takes the card, strains a little bit, kind of. Then I will see you. I will contact you later. And walks out the door.
Oh, Mrs. Strauss.
Shit, come on.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
There are more copies. And Chase just waves.
See ya.
Thought so.
Well, congratulations, guys. You just successfully blackmailed a police officer.
Yeah.
You're the good guys, remember?
No, we're the CIA. There's a difference.
That's the fucking truth. Alright. Well, you've still got some time before you're supposed to be meeting with your contact. I would say maybe an hour, half an hour. Anything anybody wants to do in that time aside from just the average, get ready, put clothes on, try to dab the Quaalude out of your eyes.
Yeah. No, she's probably gonna just be doing that.
As the door closed after Strauss left, Chase just looks at the other two and goes, "Too harsh?"
Nah, got the job done at least. And the pictures are fun. Really good photography, man.
Thank
You did a great job.
They're good pictures of
Holy
you two
shit.
as well.
Yeah. Ooh. Really?
Yeah, look,
The
lighting's great.
I'm gonna try to think about where somebody could get said drugs.
In Berlin, oh man, there was a very big prescription drug culture back then. really, it would be one of those things where a lot of the parties back then involved pill swapping, where you would literally get together, basically throw all the pills in a pile and take what you wanted,
Shit.
for lack of a better term.
She'll be impressed then.
Also, prescriptions like that back in the day were a lot easier to get. I mean, we're only like 20 years from back when 20 years away from when they were prescribing heroin for your backaches.
Mmm.
I'm pretty sure you could still get laudanum in certain parts of the world. I could be wrong on that point, but prescription drugs were relatively easy to get, even the hard stuff.
So we got.
So, in preparation for heading out into the, is it winter properly or is it fall again?
It is winter properly. It's January 8th.
Warm or cold winter?
Cold winter.
Okay, so Chase has a scarf and a trench coat and his sweater and layers.
Little bit of snow on the ground, but Berlin knows how to handle snow, so it's not much of an issue for traveling, but it is there.
He also has his camera with flash unit attached.
Okay.
We have something rented, don't we?
You do have a rented car, yes.
Panel van.
Yes, it is. It's a panel van.
Because we're the good guys.
Nothing says good guys like a creepy panel van.
Yeah.
Alright, so I don't think
Chase
she...
walks out and wipes, sort of writes in the dust on the side, free can't. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
Free candy. Don't. What was it?
No, free candy to commies to see how many spies you can wrangle up.
If that worked.
Right?
Watch me roll my luck. No, I'm just kidding.
Do it though.
Well,
Yeah,
on the other hand, since you guys seem to be leaving the hotel, you've concluded your business in the morning, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so you're heading out. Everybody roll luck for me real quick.
Scheisse.
Okay, Dan succeeded. Jay did not succeed.
This one I'm renaming luck to karma.
Yeah. Oh, and you did roll as well, Anna. Okay, you did fine. So Jay's the only one who failed. Well,
Womp, womp.
because it's not actually a panel van that says free candy on the side. We were joking about it, Kayla. Now shush. Shush. That being said, as I speak to the stream, sorry guys. As you sort of load up in the van and get ready to leave, Jay, Willem, you can't help but notice an actual mural on one of the walls surrounding the perimeter of the hotel. And for whatever reason, this mural catches your eye and you can't exactly know why until you get a little bit closer to this painting. And turns out it's actually one of the graffiti mentioned in that newspaper. And that in of itself not particularly remarkable. Obviously there was a graffiti epidemic recently striking this city. What is remarkable is that it's actually your home. You recognize it. You can recognize the little rolling Vermont hills. And the house that you've grown up in is painted so magnificently. I mean, honestly, as you look on this art on this wall, it's almost as if you could step through it. It is, the details are done so magnificently. It's like a portal into your childhood. Even the slight sun coming through the cloudy day just complements it perfectly. It practically twinkles on the snow of this picturesque painting. And that in and of itself is particularly disturbing because it's like it's practically put here for you. But the longer you look at it, the more it actually gets worse. Because as you look and see, those aren't the hills you grew up on. Oh, sure, they look very similar in many respects, but they're actually the swollen, distended bellies of corpses, with not children running up and down their slightly snowy, grassy knolls, but those are bloated white maggots running along the creases in the corpse. The house built up on the hill that at first so closely resembled your childhood home. There's a woman staring at you through the windows. She has no eyes, but you can very clearly see her, and as you move, her blank gaze follows you.
Chase goes, neat, and takes a picture.
You know, I couldn't even expect any different from you. So,
No, but seriously, you probably see a very weird expression go over Chase's face, and he'd probably mutter something about MK Ultra, and then take a picture and kind of shake his head and walk back towards the van.
fair enough. Fair enough. So you're on your way across the river. You do have to cross the bridge to get the old man. But it's snowy enough that not many people are out driving. A lot of them are just taking, walking to get where they are, or taking bikes. And you get there relatively early. Not too early, because a good spy is never early nor late. You're maybe 5 minutes ahead of your attended
That's
time.
exactly when he intends.
Exactly, there you go. So you're
Settle
maybe
down, Gandalf.
you're maybe like 5 minutes early to your meeting. But you know exactly the spot. You park around the corner, and there is a stretch of bike trail / walk trail that has some nice pleasant trees planted along its route. It runs parallel to the river, so you've got that nice view. And there's just a few benches scattered about. And you know that the old man will be meeting you at one of these benches. But, as of yet, don't quite see him.
Chase has his camera, and he starts using the viewfinder. Mostly, there's a river, right? Or it's right. The park is right up
Absolutely.
against the river.
Yep, it's that little
What's
river.
on the other side of the river?
The other side of the river would actually be mostly factories, industrial warehouses, and the like. Nothing too, nothing that anybody would really look at you funny if you took. Well, they might look at you funny, but nobody's gonna get suspicious if you're taking pictures of them. It's just not a very particularly pretty scene, but it's also nothing protected. Nobody's going to care if you take a picture. They just might think you're a bit weird.
He can speak French. He is weird to these people.
It's true.
He's basically zooms with his lens and checks the windows of the industrial area across the way, trying to see if there's any glint or flash. Signs of either windows moving or a lens on the other side. He's checking for surveillance.
Right, of course. Give me a spot hidden, please.
My
Suddenly, a
rolls suck
bird
tonight.
shits on your lens.
Yeah. I can't say it. You fall into the river.
No.
You swoop and poop.
It's no. That's just a basic success. You don't see anything. Would you like to push your roll?
Oh, this is where I'm wondering if it's worth it. He kind of puts the camera down and looks, over his shoulder at the two girls that are there, just to make sure that they're, paying attention to the area.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
have they got
I'm
my
gonna be
back?
looking
Kind
pretty.
of a thing.
I'm looking pretty closely too. So
If you two would like to attempt spot hiddens to just make sure you're not being surveilled, go right ahead.
Absolutely.
Oh god.
no.
Okay.
That spread.
So, Dan, I'm pretty sure that's a fumble. I'm
It's indeed a fumble.
I'm 99% sure that's a fumble.
I'm 99% sure that's what I rolled.
And Anna, on the other hand, that's an extreme success.
Yes, she's checking out everybody, everything around her surroundings. She's making sure that her colleague will not worry while she's, got his back.
Well, Anna,
I'm pretty sure my character choice at this point is I'm a bad spy.
so far, yeah.
You're
I mean,
so cute.
to be fair, you did seduce a police officer. Well, you helped. You had a good time.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, buddy.
so Anna,
Yeah.
you happen to notice a sort of crooked older man in just a black winter jacket, and you realize that he's actually been keeping an eye on you for not too long. A little bit shortly after you arrived. He's across the street, and after monitoring you for a moment or two, he starts to approach. Not specifically you, but he's moving towards one of the benches nearby. Now, on the other hand, Pravna, there's a man across the river who's hanging his head out of a warehouse window, and you are convinced that the glint in his hand is a rifle. Absolutely, you know what you're talking about. You've been to the farm. You can see that brief glinting of glass just out of his hand. That tubby warehouse worker, he's up to no good. He's watching you.
Alright, I'm gonna do a quick, like, arm around the shoulder, kind of like jerk out of the way. But it's just like, take a look over here! I think somebody's watching us.
I'm guessing to Chase or who?
She was nearby Carmen, wasn't she? Or
Right. Carmen just casually puts her hands in her pockets, looks around. Does she spot the guy hanging out the fucking window?
Yeah, he's cleaning a glass jar. Just casually hanging out the window. It's probably just cleaning out the kitchen or something. He's got a glass jar. He's just washing it out. Just doing his normal thing. He's paying no attention to you whatsoever.
Alright, so she just kind of sighs very calmly through her nose and says, don't worry about that.
you
She's
sure?
He's cleaning a glass jar. It's
Just
alright.
a look. She double checks. Who cleans a jar out a window?
Germans. Anyway,
Must be for some
she just
crap.
kind of casually glances back over to the old man with an easy smile on her face.
He smiles back, and as he sort of settles into the bench, he looks up to Chase, who happens to be the closest to the bench, and says, "Excuse me," speaking German, "would you happen to have today's paper?" Now, you know that this is actually the sign. It's innuendo. You've settled on this before you left, that this is how he would signal that he is contacting, or he's reaching out, is asking for today's newspaper.
What's the response? If it's a call and response.
You would hand him the newspaper, which you have brought. You have brought. Yes, you would reciprocate. Yes, I have today's paper, and give him today's newspaper.
Is that why he had such a fuss about it being French? Because it had to be a French newspaper?
Well, no, he's German.
I know, I'm just being a jerk.
Also, I just kind of sprung this on you guys because I totally slipped up on some of these signs and countersigns. And also, it's a lot to keep track of. So,
It's all good.
but the countersign would be to respond, "Why, yes, I do," and hand him today's newspaper.
Why, yes, I do, and I hand him today's newspaper.
Good job, Jay.
10 out of fucking...
Yeah, right? That's a gold coin if I ever saw one.
No, that is. No, that's not as good as Tyler's role playing in 13th Age. Hey, look out! That might fall on you. God, what was that fucking line, Dan? That was the funniest fucking thing. Oh God. Tyler, if you're listening, I love you. Anyways, they're already crying in chat for you to get a gold coin, Jay, and
Thank you.
you have fans, Jay. Anyways,
Chase has a seat on the bench next to the guy.
the older man opens the newspaper and kind of squints his eyes at it, wondering why it's a French newspaper briefly before, without looking at Chase, speaking to him. I hope Lukowski gave you at least enough to work on here.
It's Lukowski. What do you think? He says as he starts cleaning the lens of his camera.
Well, good thing there are more competent agents working on this with you. I'm personally very concerned. I wouldn't want to leave. I was born here. But if this is a leak, I'd be one of the first ones they'd go after.
Well, let's hope we can avoid all of that unpleasantness.
Absolutely. I think you'll find today's world section quite enlightening. And the older man folds up the newspaper and hands it back to Chase. Except this time you can feel that there is quite a significant weight difference. The newspaper has gotten much heavier. As the old man politely excuses himself and leaves.
I'm not sure I have enough time for that much heavy reading.
The puns. The puns! But he's handed you off a manila folder, a simple manila folder that is packed to the brim with the actual paperwork on this assignment, where you just got a brief overview with Lukowski. This is dossiers on each of the 3 agents involved, dossiers on their covers, their most recent reports before they went dark, as well as just some mission-specific stuff. Now, some of the mission-specific details have been scrubbed out. They've been censored because of the potential for a information leak. But otherwise, it talks a lot about what assets are available in the area, including the assets available at the airfield.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, young man?
Could you mail something for me? I'm new to town and I don't know where the post office is.
Absolutely. I pass it on my way home.
He hands him a small manila envelope with the pictures from earlier.
Lucky dude.
Mm-hmm. Have a nice day, young man.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Now then. If you'll give me a moment, I actually need to find my notes real quick.
Also, poor Strauss.
I know.
Now Lukowski has those pictures, and who wants to know what that greasy fuck does with them?
Oh,
Yeah. Also,
Oh,
that.
we know.
Probably eats a Philly
God.
cheesesteak and Rex's whatever.
He wrecks his Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, that's right.
Also, that's great. It didn't save my GM notes. So, you're going to need to give me about 30 seconds to come up with these names again. And write them down.
John Doe, Jane Doe, Thomas Doe.
No.
No relation. The worst part is you're streaming a Google page.
God fucking damn it! I knew I had it open on the wrong thing. Ah, that was dumb of me. Okay. Well, you're gonna get the names anyways. It's not like it's privileged information. I was literally Googling it to write it down. Anyways, so first one is going to be, the first agent is Oliver Crusp. Second one is going to be an agent by the name of Stephen Riley.
There's a disturbing combination.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, I completely fucked that up. That was good of me. And I've even got another window open for like the stream and stuff that I don't want to show up on stream.
Stephen Riley has a Facebook page.
I know. I'm an idiot. God. Can I get a gold coin for being dumb?
Yes. Cole having a stroke.
Oh yeah, can we get a stroke on the stroke counter? Darby, can I get a stroke on the stroke counter?
4 strokes, please.
God. See, I remembered the 2 names, but now I can't remember the one I had set up for the last name, so I'm just gonna look up generic German surnames. Kevin Muller. That'll work. Okay. So, we've got Kevin Muller, and I'm actually gonna write it the fuck down this time, and hopefully it'll stay in my GM notes this time. Stefan Riley.
Hans Bratwurst.
Yeah, Hans Bratwurst. Doc McStuffins. No, that's not real. Shut up, Kayla. And Oliver Kruss. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Apparently my GM notes didn't save for whatever reason, and then I did a stupid. I apologize. That was bad of me.
You don't have to apologize. You're the GM. You could kill us.
I could, but that's not a good thing. Now that
Never
being
apologize. Everything you do is
We
intentional.
blackmailed you. Worse than dying.
yeah,
Blackmailing.
they kind of blackmailed the shit out of you.
I don't even know what she needs you for yet, but we still.
Oh, you're gonna need her next session. Well, you're gonna want her next session. I mean, you're probably gonna want her between next session because she is your wife and you love her. But you're gonna want her next session.
Probably later on tonight, hopefully. But you know,
Angie, I love you. God bless.
10 out of 10.
Anyways, so the cover idea for these men is that they're actually Germans who were recently displaced by the war. They've been recruited by the CIA for their knowledge of radio equipment. 2 of them were actually working in an electronics store recently. That was their recent cover and how they were getting their radio equipment into Berlin. They would have it shipped to the electronics store where they would discreetly either smuggle it out or purchase it under false names. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not far from our hotel either.
It's not far from your hotel. Okay, so I'm glad you remember that clue. Alright. So,
What good is trying to seduce a German border guard?
if you don't remember the clues,
If you
I
don't
know.
remember the clues.
To be fair, I will say in the future, if you forget an in-character clue that I give you, I will let your character roll an intelligence test and I will tell you it again if you succeed. Otherwise, I would suggest writing some of these things down.
Yes.
Oh, I brought a notepad this time, unlike last time.
That's smart. I probably should
I
have done
have
the same
Notepad open.
since
Yeah.
my silly shit didn't want to save. Alright. So, those were their covers. Those are their names. You have some brief dossier on their work history. It doesn't throw up any immediate red flags. They don't seem to be quite the party animals that you guys were. These are the IT guys of the CIA. These are dorks.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are
My kind of people.
these are ham radio enthusiasts. They do good work. They seem motivated about what they're doing, but for whatever reason, they lost all contact with everybody about 15 days ago.
That's bad.
Now, you do also have some information on where they're set up. It is a industrial living space, so where all the workers would live, they've got a townhouse in that area, set up amongst the larger workforce. A lot of people in the area, but mostly factory workers, lower middle class, just people trying to make a living. You'll get a lot of 2 families crammed into one house in that area.
Hmm.
Similarly, you also are going to have 2 friendly assets in the airbase. One of which is actually a gate guard who happens to be cheating on his wife.
Excellent.
Yeah, so you've got that over him. There are no pictures of it, but the folder does mention that there is hard evidence of this fact.
Mm-hmm.
And that he will be cooperative if it's mentioned.
Lukowski stole them.
Probably to jerk off to, yes.
Oh, Slukowski.
We're just going to blame everything on Lukowski. I like how he's become the most hated character.
He's just a scummy meatbag.
He is a scummy meatbag. That's the
He's
point of the
not
character.
so much hated as just everyone's just like, you're disgusting.
It's like,
I know,
God,
it's true.
go take a fucking shower. God. Moral shower.
Yep. And similarly, you also have an armory technician who volunteered to work with the CIA. This guy actually came of his own accord, and the folder notes this as deeply suspicious. But apparently he has given no real reason to doubt he's done good work. He doesn't seem to be in contact with any sort of dissidents. But the fact that he was so willing to work for the CIA when approached without having anything over his head is concerning.
It is. Like, he has nothing to lose from it.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Do you guys have anything you'd like to ask me? Because I could very well be forgetting something that should be included in this intelligence. Is there anything you would like to know that you think should be in here but I have not covered yet?
Do we have something waiting for us at the airport, or is it an ad hoc thing?
It'll be an
That's
ad
what I was
hoc
asking.
thing. That was actually covered in the briefing. You can request specific equipment, but that will take time. However, you could probably go there and pick up some odds and ends, enough to defend yourself. Just maybe not necessarily everything you would want.
Okay, so I guess the next real question is, do we attempt to gather equipment, or do we just go directly to the last known location?
That's up to you as a party. Let's all pile in the panel van and have a discussion. In the back with the free candy.
To the kidnap wagon.
The kidnap wagon.
What's sad is we're probably all sitting in the back actually unwrapping candy.
Mhm.
Yeah, just eating it.
I can't believe no one wants this stuff.
Oh my god, that is a strong rum and coke. Wow. Delicious.
Did you want some Coke with the rum?
Yeah, that's kind of what it tastes like right now. Sorry. Don't mean to interrupt.
So, what's our next play here, guys? Gals, this is
Well-
actually a little strange.
Carmen just wants to figure out, why they would just go quiet. Because if somebody were to, I don't know. Of course it's fishy.
Well, we could limit our exposure at first. We could go to the electronics store where they worked. I've got a pretty solid cover for that kind of thing.
Sure, we can do that and see if it leads to anywhere else that we might need to investigate before we, if we decide to go quickly and see if they're actually there or not. I'd rather get the information or any information that we can first before putting ourselves into any harm or anything, because life is great. I don't want to die. So let's go. That's what I say.
So, just go to the airfield is Anna's position?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Any other alternative opinions?
We're gonna go to the airfield first before we go to the electronics store?
Oh no, I thought the electronics store first.
Oh, okay, so you were saying
Yeah.
electronics.
Yeah, no, yeah,
I was
I'm sorry.
confused.
Sorry,
No,
my
yeah,
bad.
Sorry. No,
I
the electronics
misheard.
store first.
Okay,
See where it worked. See if there's anything fishy that leads to anything else that might be worth investigating. If not, then we can always go to the airfield.
okay.
This good logic, Jay. Thank you.
Well, I figure it's the easiest way to go. And all three of them worked at the electronics store, right?
Just two of them.
Just two of them. Which which two again?
Let me open my notes because I've already forgotten their names. That would be Kevin Mueller and Stefan Riley. Actually, no, sorry. Kevin Mueller and Oliver Krusp. Stefan Riley was the one who did not work it there. Oh dear, did this...
Oh, I'm pushed.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not
No,
used to
no.
push to talk. I was gonna ask you which one looks more fastidious. Which one looks not lazy? I guess is really the term I'm looking for.
Definitely would be Kevin Mueller. While Oliver Krusp looks, he looks sort of like the I was bullied a lot in high school kind of nerd and kind of shy, lanky, a little bit, you know, always a withdrawn sort of posture in his pictures. Just very timid. While as Kevin, on the other hand, a little more outgoing, actually built up a bit of muscle, bit more confident posture, bit more outgoing, has a lot of the word hardworking used in his folder.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely, and that's Mueller. You said.
Kevin Mueller, yes.
Okay, that's good. So I guess we're gonna drive to the electronic shop.
Okay. And that will be the red. No, that's the hotel. The electronics shop. Oh crap, did I even mark the electronics shop on the map? It doesn't matter. You're driving to the electronics shop.
Go into
Indeed.
Radio Shack. Radio Shack and
I really should have
God.
labeled these random circles I put on the map. Because when I did it 4 hours ago, it made perfect sense in my head. It doesn't anymore.
Okay. Well, Willem will go in, camera still strung around his neck, and walk right up to the front counter, put his hands on his desk, kind of look, both ways across the counter, kind of looking as if he was looking for someone that might be behind the desk.
Currently, the desk is unoccupied, but it is a very small store. You can tell this used to be somebody's living space. A lot of very cramped shelves. You would actually probably have to tuck your shoulders in to walk between the shelves and the walls. Lots of electronics, though. We're talking TVs, air conditioners. Everything is somehow being crammed into this small shop. There is a bell on the front checkout, the front desk, if you will. But currently nobody is manning it. And you don't immediately see anyone in all of the clutter.
Is there an obvious camera of any sort?
No. Absolutely not.
Okay. He rings the bell then.
Okay. You hear sort of a... Actually, you understand exactly what the man is saying, but it's not very pleasant. From the back room, and then a brief thud, followed by multiple crashes, before the back door opens, and a man who has already a bit of a red welt forming on his forehead, walks out with a very big smile plastered on his face, clearly trying to force the pain away. And he immediately maneuvers himself through the shelves very expertly. He's worked here quite a while. You can just automatically tell the way he maneuvers himself. Gets behind the front desk and speaks in German. Yes, hello, how can I help you today?
Yes, is Kevin in?
Kevin? No, actually, he hasn't been in for, nearly... Oh, jeez. Are you friends with him?
No, well, yes and no. Kevin was offered to order me some Ultramax 400 film. I need it for a shoot today. I was willing to make it worth his while, and he said he would be right on it, but this was 2 weeks ago. I haven't heard any calls. I don't have any way to get in touch with him. But I need the film for the shoot. He didn't get any deliveries here of that, by chance?
I think we might have some in storage, but no, we haven't made any specific deliveries for that. That's a bit of a very specific item. But no, Kevin hasn't been in. You said 2 weeks? No, we haven't heard from him either. He hasn't been to our. He hasn't come drinking with us. He hasn't been around. We haven't heard him call out sick. Actually, we've been quite worried about him.
Scheiße. The models, he kind of motions to the girls behind him. They don't sit still, so I need a very high-speed film. do you know where I can contact? He said he had to order it from a friend in Hanover.
Hanover. Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. He made, there were a few things he had delivered from Hanover.
At which point, now Chase knows that they're getting stuff illegally into Berlin.
Yeah, absolutely. They had quite a few things delivered from Hanover. There was, one thing. A gentleman came in, 4 days ago? He was looking for... Oh, what was it? Let me head to the back room, clear my head, and check for the film. We might have it.
Thank you very much.
And the gentleman would sort of turn his back, walk away, and as soon as his back is to you, he starts rubbing at that already forming welt on his forehead and muttering swears to himself.
What is going on with that? Gross.
Are you talking in character?
Yeah.
He hit his head. He was lying down and fell off whatever stack he was sleeping on.
Mm.
Or pile of bodies in the back that we don't see that's horribly mutating.
No, it's just
It's
definitely...
Call of Cthulhu.
It's monkeys. It's fog monkeys. The
Big
back...
old pile of monkeys, fog monkeys, and blood demons.
the back room is just full of fog monkeys.
That's a brave man.
It's about 4 or 5 minutes before he returns, and surprisingly, he does actually have a roll of the film in hand. And he puts it on the counter and sort of beams very proud of himself. You can tell this is a bit of a younger man. He's very energetic. He's saying, we actually... I didn't see a specific order for this, but this is something that we did have. Apparently it was ordered by his coworker, Oliver, about a month back, but the customer never came and picked it up.
Well, I'll take it, but I have to tell you I'm disappointed. I ordered about 300 rolls.
I'm sorry, sir. This is all we're going to have for you.
Scheiße. Do you have his contact information? Some way I can call him or check on him? You have to understand, my career is writing on these photos. Look at them.
I have his address and...
It's a small wave.
Actually, real quick, can I get a fast talk out of you?
I always talk myself into roles every time.
You do, because I get where you're going. No, the problem is I don't want to give it to you for free, because you
No, I
are
understand.
so convincing out of character. That beats. That you succeed.
Just barely.
You just barely succeed. There was his friend Stefan was here 4 days ago. I mean, not in here, but I saw him. He was on the other side of the street. Didn't look so well, but I saw him. I was finishing up my shift. I waved. He didn't wave back. I don't even know if he saw me. He's the only one I could think to contact, but I haven't seen him since then. That was 4 days ago.
Well, I guess it's worth a try if you can give me their contact info. I promise you, it's purely business deal that I want to contact with them. It's so difficult to get things in Berlin these days.
Absolutely.
I would have brought more
absolutely.
film if I knew.
I will give you their home address and their home phone number. Other than that, I unfortunately just don't have that information for you. I'm sorry.
No, of course I understand, and I know it's quite the request to have you do that, but as you can see, I cannot keep the ladies waiting, and certainly my publisher is not willing to wait on me.
Absolutely, I understand, sir, and I'm very sorry that our service has disappointed you. This is a bit unprecedented, just having an employee
was
disappear
Krusp,
on us.
wasn't it? He's always seemed like he's not quite willing to stand up.
I'm just not sure if it had been him. I can't imagine the man missing a day of work. He was always such a pushover. I mean, he came in anytime we asked. Even when it was like his birthday or something. He never missed a day of work.
That's surprising. He always seemed like he was ready to take a nap.
He was, but he was just so meek he couldn't say no to anybody.
Well, we all have our weaknesses.
I'm afraid so, sir. Well, I hope the rest of your stay in Berlin is pleasant, and if there's anything else I can order for you, I know that you are on a time constraint, but I can try to get it here as expedited as possible.
So accommodating.
Would you be able to find a high-power flash unit? One of my other flashes has unfortunately stopped working, and I need to replace the circuit for it.
Do you just need the parts to the flash unit, or do you need the full flash unit?
Preferably just the capacitor, if you have it.
The capacitor.
Capacitor, charger, and main flash unit, but not the bulb or housing. I have those. I can certainly do my own repairs.
Well, we have a lot of parts in the back room. It would take me about a day to go through them all just to make sure I have what you need. Is there any way I could contact you if I have the right capacitor?
Yes, of course. Here, you can contact this room at this hotel, and he hands it to the front desk of the other hotel.
Yep, absolutely. Real quick, Jay, could you make a luck roll for me?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Actually, sir, give me a moment. When I was back there, I think I saw, because you're describing this model of capacitor, I think back there when I was looking for the film, I might have actually knocked some of that off the shelf. Just give me a moment, please, sir. And he hustles back into the back room, clearly very eager to please. About a couple minutes go by. You hear a couple of crashes, but nothing too spectacular, nothing compared to that first bang.
Carmen just kind of strolls up next to Chase at this point, still being just her model self.
Yep, looking pretty.
Chase is smiling, maybe a little too wide, hearing that they actually have what he needs.
You're a lucky man.
He has plans for this.
About
Not good plans.
yeah.
But plans.
About a minute and a half later, the young man returns with a little bit of a box, and he proudly puts it on the desk and sort of pushes a couple of things aside with his finger before pointing out a very specific piece. Is this what you're looking for, sir? This capacitor? And yes, it is.
Okay. Then yes it is. I will pay for both items then.
Alright, that I'm not even going to require you to do credit rating roll. That's not an expensive purchase. You get both items. You get the film and the capacitor.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. I will, if I happen to get in touch with any of your coworkers, I'll tell them to let you know what's going on. Certainly it must be hard working by yourself.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's just me and the owner these days. I had to take a lot of long shifts. But thank you very much, and I'm glad that I could help you today.
No problems. And Chase sort of rounds up the girls and heads on out.
Okay. So now you've got your capacitor and your film, as well as you've learned the interesting fact that while two of the attendants, the ones that actually work there, have not been seen in roughly the 2-week span that you've been looking, the third, Stefan, was seen wandering outside of the electronics store and was recognized only 4 days prior.
More importantly, we also have their home addresses.
Yes,
And
you
he
do.
wasn't looking well, right, Stefan?
He was not looking
Good
well.
old Stefan boy.
Good old Stefan Riley.
We also
Stefan
know
Riley.
that Crusp is a weak-willed individual.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
What is your next move, guys? Depending on how you answer, we may end up calling it for the night, because we've got about 20 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
If you decide
Well-
to go to the airfield, that's mostly going to be talking. That absolutely could work. But if you decide to go to the townhouse, that's going to be a much longer scene. I'm just warning you right now.
Well, we need to get some supplies from the airfield, don't we?
Yes,
hurt.
because you currently have very little in the way of weapons. You might be able to improvise a knife or two, but otherwise you're pretty much bare hands.
We should have gotten some cases or something in the electronics store that we could keep guns in.
Chase would have that kind of stuff back at the hotel.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I had two steamer trunks, effectively, of photographic equipment, cases, and all sorts of stuff.
For whatever reason, I just, instead of whatever you said, I thought of a steamroller. I'm like, why would Chase have a steamroller? But
have
then I
two
thought, you know what?
steamrollers.
I wouldn't
Yep.
put it past him to have a steamroller somewhere.
Absolutely.
He seems like a sly motherfucker, so.
So yes, getting some supplies probably is not a terrible idea.
Sure, guys. Let me make a quick phone call, if you don't mind.
Okay. Who are you calling?
So I'm gonna go to a public payphone,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to dial the Berlin Police Department
Oh dear.
and ask to talk to Staff Sergeant Strauss.
All right. Staff Sergeant Strauss, are you still with us?
I'm sitting at my desk having a nice tension-filled day.
All right. Well, your phone
Silently
starts.
shitting to herself.
Yeah, you're sitting at your desk, just pooping loudly, and your phone starts to ring.
Desk Sergeant Strauss.
Hello, Desk Sergeant Strauss. This is Inspector Jacobs.
How may I help you?
I
Oh,
need
that
some
anger.
information on some potential delinquents that may be connected to the case we're working.
Of course.
I need dossiers and preferably any crime sheets related to a Stephen Riley. God, can't believe you chose that name. Thomas Krusp and Kevin Mueller.
I'm gonna go ahead and interrupt you real quickly.
Okay.
Angie,
Yes.
the Oliver and Kevin have very little on record. Maybe a drunken disorderly on Kevin, but otherwise, straight shooting citizens. Nothing wrong about them. However, on the other hand, Stephen Riley is currently in custody. You see, he was the one responsible for the recent graffiti epidemic in Berlin, and is currently being held at the Berlin Police Department for questioning before his sentencing.
Okay then.
That is all the information you would have available to you.
Okay. Fuck, what are the names again?
Just Kevin, Oliver, Stefan.
I'm I will need to go away from my desk and look up this information. If you would give me an hour or two, I will call you back. And would I know the name of Stefan off the top of my head?
Oh, absolutely. This is somebody you would know off the top of your head because there has been a
He
big
was
problem.
front page news.
He was basically front page news. They did not release his name for protection of the innocent, but otherwise, this guy has been a bit of a big deal because what he has been doing to your streets has been particularly disturbing, as well as he has not been super cooperative in custody.
What a
Of course
jackwagon.
not. Okay then, I don't know anything about the first two you gave me, but on Stefan. You've read the newspaper recently?
Yes.
He's the one that we have in custody for the graffiti that has plagued our city recently.
You say you have Stefan in custody currently?
Yes.
We may need access to him. He may have information related to the case. Is there a way you can isolate him?
Locus, is there a way I can isolate him?
Yes, you could absolutely set it up for them to have a conversation. You would be setting it up as him speaking to another, basically another law enforcement officer.
How much time would this take me? A day or two?
Not even. He's currently in the jail attached to the prison, or not the jail attached to the prison. That makes no sense. The jail attached to the police department.
Double-decker!
Yeah, the double-decker prison. No, the jail attached to the police department. So he is in the same building as you are. He's basically in sort of the drunk tank.
Okay. So, back in character, I'm sorry.
No. Absolutely. You don't have this information. I'm happy to give it to you.
That can be arranged. What time would you like me to try and get that done by?
We're going to need at least 4 hours before we'll be able to arrive.
And you have your proper identification labeling you as a police?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, Angie. I was waiting for that to come up. Yes! Sorry, please continue.
I will
As-
have what I require.
I can set it up if you can provide that kind of identification.
I'm actually really happy because my wife just caught me in a really good gambit.
Yes, she fucking did. I am so happy for that right now. Oh man,
And
this is
10 out of 10.
this is not how I saw this session going, but I am.
I will come with the necessary pictures.
Then I guess I will talk to you later.
Bam, bitches.
Oh, that's a good fucking threat. Whew! It's getting spicy up in here. Now I assume you're going to relay this information to the rest of the party, Jay.
Of course, sorry, I had to give my wife some cheers there.
Yeah, no, she deserves it. I mean, honestly,
Hey, Angie.
Angie, you get a gold coin too.
I'm an NPC, I don't get gold coins.
You get a gold coin anyways. You get a spiritual gold coin.
No, my husband owes me for this, and he's gonna have to pay up later, don't worry.
Alright, well you can spend your gold coins with your husband then.
I've seen those in sex shops.
Anyways, Jay, please inform the party of what you've discovered.
Stefan's in custody, and our good friend, Staff Sergeant Strauss, is going to isolate him for our interrogation.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So we're on a time limit now.
I guess so. When will she be able to, you know?
I told her give us 4 hours. That should give us enough time to collect what we need, and we may need to falsify some records.
All right. I guess we should get to that then.
What type of records? What are we getting into here?
Oh, you know, just Federal Ministry of Information. You know.
Oh, just light stuff. She turns on the fans.
Which is
Well, I
nothing big.
have the material, but we may need to acquire some other items to complete our cover. Let's put it that way. Not many federal officers are unarmed, as they say.
Well, we're going to the right place for that, I suppose.
Do you have a pantsuit by chance?
Yes.
Out of all people, I imagine the
Yes,
good
ma'am?
doctor would have
Yeah.
a pantsuit.
Oh, yes.
Good. It may come in handy. So I guess we go off to the airfield then.
Okay. Everybody heading to the airfield? No.
Yes.
So we have two options at this airfield, as I'm understanding.
Well, it's not so much two options as you have a way to get in and you have somebody to help you get your stuff. Because one of the assets you have is and I actually wrote the name this time down, or down this time. Jesus, my words. You have James Romero, who is a border guard.
Setting up zombie movies.
Absolutely. A border guard who would be able to help you get in. And then you have Tyler Alexander, who is actually working in the armory and would have access to the actual weapons that you could pilfer, for lack of a better word.
Pilfer. I love
What
that word.
is the name of the woman that he had an affair with?
Oh, you would ask me that.
Yeah.
Charlie.
What?
Fucking Charlie.
Svetlana Gorbachev or something. Like, you come up with at least a German name.
Charlie's a German name. Well, no, it's not that German. It really isn't. No. Because he had the affair on American soil. He's an American soldier and an American citizen.
It's Heidi de Boom Boom.
Heidi de Boom Boom.
Charlie Wazinowitz?
You think there are still Jews in Germany after this, huh?
Yeah. It's only been 20 years. They haven't figured out it's safe yet.
God.
Oh, I'm going to hell.
All right, let's just decide on Ivana fuck a lot and go.
Ivana fuck a lot, yes.
So we're gonna have her go. So Yasmin. When we Yasmin is driving, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yasmin, as you pull up, as that border guard asks who you are, I want you to say this name.
So we're going to say just go with Ivana Fuckalot? Sure. Why not?
Well,
No.
for the sake of expedience.
Yeah, for the sake of expedience. So you roll up to the border patrol, and you know the guy because you've seen his picture in his dossier. You've actually seen, aside from the affair, you've seen some fairly a lot of pictures of this man, so you know him immediately as you roll up to the gate, and you introduce yourself as his the woman he has had an affair with with behind his wife's back, and he immediately goes pale and freezes. Like, this man goes white as a sheet and says nothing. He simply stares at you.
We have an appointment.
Right, how could I forget? Yeah, let me just get the fucking gate for you. Jesus Christ, you fucking people, I swear to God. Gonna give me a fucking coronary. And with that, he would basically wave off the other guards, because obviously he's not the only one guarding this checkpoint. But he would wave you through, open the gate, and get you going down the lane. However, you're not gonna be going by yourselves. He is going to be escorting you as you enter the base. This is a military installation, and you're not military. You are 3 civilians in civilian clothes.
Today.
Today. So you are going to be escorted by this watch guard. And he's not happy about it. He's not saying anything in earshot. But you don't need a listen check to know he's not fucking happy about escorting you guys towards the armory.
Of course. Chase, for the most part, has just no compassion.
Yep, none whatsoever. And the ladies are looking pretty, I assume?
She's more concerned about driving.
Of course she looks pretty.
Well, at this point, you would have pulled your van over. You're not going to be driving on the military base. They're going to have you walking. Like, they would have gotten you in the checkpoint, pulled your van over, and then had you guys get out, and you're walking to the armory. But
Pretty but dour.
Chase would have his camera bag with him.
oh, of course. And as you would walk, you might get a couple of funny looks from the GIs. A couple of them look at Carmen, look at each other, and then one of them puts 2 fingers in his mouth and does a very long and actually quite impressive wolf whistle at Carmen.
Wow. To which she winks.
The GI just laughs and slaps his buddy on the chest, and they go back to doing whatever they were doing, probably pounding sand, as their sergeant told them to. But before long, you are at the armory without too much suspicion. The man, or the watch guard, knocks on the door, and out comes another man. They speak briefly in English, and you can pick up bits and pieces of it. They're hushed. But the man kind of looks at,
Hold on.
okay.
Never mind.
You don't hear shit. You don't hear shit either.
Oh, here, let me help out. Sorry, I was helping myself with dinner. Listen.
You don't hear shit either. Nobody
Fine.
hears shit.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Worth a try.
Worth a try. Oh shit, Kayla's mad at me. Anyways, so they, the armory guard looks at you, looks at the watch guard, looks at you again, specifically looks at Carmen, snickers, and then he opens the door widely and he steps out, puts his arm around the watch guard, and the two of them walk off, leaving you with just an open armory door.
Damn.
Chase Browns.
Is this how you do?
No, this is unusual. Spot hidden.
Go ahead, do a spot in.
Fucking nailed it.
You fucking nailed it. You're not alone. In fact, you were clever enough to realize that the man who opened the door and first spoke with, whatever the fuck his name was, wasn't your contact. It was just some random GI. However, as you look into the armory and among sort of the dark and dank lighting, you do see your contact. He is alone, currently
Tyler?
inside. Tyler Alexander. Because I can't come up with names quickly when I'm dumb and didn't write them down. He doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. He is currently working away, hammering out a rifle that has a very distinctly bent barrel. It's actually kind of frightening how it got so severely damaged. Considering that this hasn't been an active war zone, you're not sure what would bend an M14 barrel quite that far.
Tank.
Yeah, it was definitely a tank. GIs got drunk and were messing around with the tanks again.
Damn, Leafy.
Yep, Leafy was at it.
Yeah.
Dan, you see the exact same thing that Chase does.
Chase motions the girls inside the armory so that we're not just standing out with our mouths open in the middle of the field. And as we walk
She'll
inside, Chase steps forward and says,
quickly
"You're
follow.
never gonna regain MOA on that."
What? Oh. You're fucking telling me I have been pounding at this shit for 4 fucking hours now. 4 fucking hours, and this is how straight I've gotten it. I mean, I think my lieutenant's just pissed at me. It wasn't my fault they got drunk. Shouldn't let the fucking GIs around tanks when they've had a few fucking beers in them. So I take it you're the new guys? You don't look like the other two. What's his name? Stefan and Oliver? No, not Oliver. The other one. You know what I'm fucking talking about.
Yes.
Kevin?
Yeah,
How
Kevin.
long since you've seen the two? Chase doesn't confirm or deny anything.
Oh, it's been about 2 months. I ain't seen any of them in 2 months, probably. Before that, though, it was like 6 months. They didn't come to the base much, really. They didn't have much need for what we're selling.
Stefan's in custody.
You fucking serious?
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Holy shit. That's a fucking problem.
Thomas may be compromised. We're wondering if clean house is necessary.
Shit. If he's in custody.
I'm just joking with you. We're here to pick up our stuff.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's
nearly
like this all the time.
shat my fatigues. Oh my god.
You get numb to it after a while.
Yeah, I'm getting numb to it already. I can't feel my asshole.
Best to keep you on your toes. You never know who comes knocking.
I can only figure certain kind of people come in looking like you. They don't let most civvies on this base. It's only the people that got a fucking reason to be on base.
Oh, us? We're with Time.
Mm. And I'm with National fucking Geographic. Now, do you want to see what I have to offer or not?
Let's see it.
Alright. He would motion you towards the back of the armory. Now, along the walls, you have what are it's basically the most modern of the U.S. armament. We're talking brand spanking new M16s. M1911 still hasn't been replaced as a standard service pistol, but lots of M1911s, M14s, good stuff, fresh. But as you get closer to the back of the armory, that's where shit starts to get older. And as you get all the way to the back, there is a crate which the Tyler motions to and sort of kicks with his foot. This is a bunch of shit from when the Republic fell. Nobody gives a shit if it comes or goes. You got whatever you need in here. There's some old fucking Car 98s. I know you ain't really gonna get a rifle out of here, but there's Mausers, Walthers. It's a lot of German shit mostly.
P-38s?
Yeah, a couple.
We'll take them.
All right, yeah. Let me get those out
We're
for you.
also going to need 300 rounds of NATO standard 9mm, 124 grain, full metal jacket.
Jesus fucking Christ, you got your eyes on something. All right. Yeah, I can work that out. Real quick though, Jay, would you give me a luck roll real fast?
Yes, of course. My luck is the lowest in the group, so of course I have to roll.
Well, no, it's not that you're the lowest. You're the one talking.
Shit.
There is only one
So
Walther,
close.
unfortunately, in that box. Or not Walther, P96.
P-38.
Jesus Christ. P38. There is only one P38.
Are there no doughboys?
Dope boy. Fresh.
Doughboy fresh.
But no, you've only got one P38 currently available in the box. There are pieces to other P38s, but not a full one, and not enough pieces to build another full one.
Right. Is there another barrel assembly?
Yeah.
There is another barrel assembly.
This is good. What else do we have?
Let's see. Let me bring you over here. Back when Soviets invaded, we also got a bunch of their shit. There's some of those little guns. What are they fucking called? You might be interested in those. We ain't got a lot of ammo for them though, 'cause that was Soviet shit. We just got what we fucking scrounged.
Little guns. What little guns?
That wouldn't. It's not gonna be the PPK. God, why do I always think it's the PPK? It's the It looks like a PPK. It's a little semi-automatic pistol, 9x18.
Makarov?
Yes, thank you, Makarov.
Post World War II.
Yes. Oh shit, you're right. Damn it, I didn't think about that. My bad.
Yeah.
Then I guess
TT-33 would have been their standard service pistol.
yeah, they would have had the
which is-
TT-33 and the
with
Nagant
leftover
revolver.
Nagants.
Yeah, Nagant revolver. Yeah, we got some Nagant revolvers and we got some you know what I'm fucking talking about.
Right. How much ammo do you have for the Nagants?
For the Nagant revolvers, little less than 150 rounds all told.
That should be more than sufficient.
Alright, I got 3 revolvers. How many you want?
Just one.
Alright, I can hand that over.
I need shot glasses, metal,
Metal
tin or
shot.
small drinking glasses.
We got canteens.
Not too big. What kind of tubing do you have?
Is there anything left in that? The bits and pieces of the guns that you said that wouldn't make a full one that could work.
That could work for the metal glasses. I mean, I'm not quite sure where you're
Do
going
you
with
have
it.
any steel wool?
Yes. Absolutely.
Rubber washers?
Yes.
That'll do.
Okay. Yeah, anything else you need?
Half-inch by half-inch tap. You have machinery here, right?
Yeah,
You know how to do a concentric tapping?
of course.
Okay, I need you to do it on the barrel of this and the barrel of this. And he points to the gun and the P38. The extra P38 barrel.
Kind of looks them over and he's like, yeah, sure, that wouldn't take me too long.
And he rummages around another bin and pulls out an old metal flare casing.
Hmm.
And I need you to do it to the one end of this.
I don't know where you're going with this, but alright. Your fucking time, I'm paid to be here. And he would do that. I'm not sure exactly quite how much time that would take. I can't imagine very long.
It wouldn't take that long.
Yeah. So,
If he has the equipment, it wouldn't take long.
well, it's a fully stocked armory, so...
Oh, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be a problem at all. So he would go ahead and get that done real quick and bring that back and kind of look you up and down. He's like, you sure you don't want anything? Goes boom. See, thing is, GI stole some Comp 4 a couple days back. They were doing a fucking fireworks thing with it for the new year. It was fucking stupid. Point is, Command cracked down on it hard, but there's still about a quarter pound that's unaccounted for that I might be able to slip your way.
Chase looks at Carmen and then at Esmond and goes, what do you
She
think, Chase?"
shrugs. So it's like me.
Now you're gonna have to rig up a detonator yourself. Those are under stricter controls, but let me get you this. And he would go ahead and retrieve what is basically quarter pound of C4.
That works.
That is very.
Anything you girls want?
I out of character wise, I do not know anything about guns.
Would you
So
like
I
a
don't
knife?
Really know. Sure, I am good with brawling, so
Yeah, you got to do some
anything that
brawling.
would aid with that.
See, knives are a little bit easier to make go missing. So, oh god, what was the standard U.S. Army combat knife back then? You would get you'd be able to get a standard U.S. Army combat knife. I can't remember the specific model, but honest to God, it doesn't matter that much.
What's the Soviet stuff you said you had?
Mostly old rifles from World War II, scavenged after the conflict. So we're talking, or not just rifles. We're talking Nagant pistol, TT-38 semi-auto, a couple of Mosin Nagants, maybe a PPSH-41, but that I would require a luck roll for.
What would be the last thing?
It would be a submachine gun. 50-round drum magazine, relatively small, easy to use, not super accurate, but it's a good gun.
High rate of fire, high velocity projectile, good
Yeah.
penetration, relatively decent range, high capacity.
She kind of looks to Chase. What do you think we can get out of here?
I'd worry about that unless we cut the stock off. My camera bag's only so big.
Again,
I can
if you do want the PPSH, I'm going to require a luck roll. There is absolutely no guarantee that they would have that. And that would be from you, Dan.
I'll take it.
Okay, yeah, go right ahead.
We'll see.
Worst case scenario, they have it, but you don't want to take it with you. I would say roll for it. No.
They don't have it.
Sorry, they don't have a PPSH 41 for you.
Right,
Communications equipment.
I'll take some
Let's
kind
get-
of handle, I guess, too.
We don't got communications equipment in this armor. You'd want to go to the tech hut.
She looks to Chase and you said you want me in a suit earlier.
Yes, we may have to visit some friends that require proper dress, but we'll talk about that later.
Mhm.
This is not the place for that.
Absolutely.
So, Tyler, you say you don't have communication equipment here?
Not in the armory, nah. They keep that under lockdown. That shit's either underground in intelligence or what's extra they keep in the electronic shack. I ain't got access to that.
You don't have access to that.
Uh-uh.
And Chase just kind of looks over at Carmen and then looks back at Tyler. And you see his frown is very, very strong. Admittedly, this is the guy that's been coming in and almost listing off weapons, directly as needed to this armor. So you have no way of accessing that. No favors you can call in.
And are you gonna roll a charm roll to see if you can convince this guy to call in some favors?
Yep. She
Alright.
just gently smiles, leans in, kind of fluffs her hair a little bit. There's nothing that you might be able to do for, I don't know, anything?
The guy the armorer kind of leans on his desk and scratches his nose, clearly thinking about it. I mean,
Anything at all. Within reason. She giggles.
those guys at the electronics shack, they're so fucking tight wired. You might be able to, with a smile like that, you might be able to get them outside. Get you in for a little bit, but you're gonna be real time constrained. I might be able to just get him out for a bit, but you gotta get and go, cause I'm not protecting your ass as you get caught in there. I'm risking enough shit by keeping you in here.
I will take a sidearm of some sort.
Okay, so
I'd like a handgun, at least, too. I
What?
don't know what anything is.
Jay, out of character, what all? Because I know you were kind of gearing up the party since you know guns out of the best of the party. Would you just real quick run down what you've gotten for everybody else? Because I know you've got for yourself,
Oh.
but
I've gotten a lot of stuff for myself, and operationally for anyone really. So total inventory that Chase has directly picked up. He has picked up one P38 in standard operating form, and he has picked up one barrel unit for a P38. On top of that, that barrel unit is now threaded half-inch diameter to 28 millimeters in depth. He also has one Nagant revolver with 150 rounds of ammunition. Oh yeah, and 300 rounds of 9mm. Sorry. Whose barrel is also threaded to 1/8 inch. Of course. He has one metal tube cap end that is equally threaded female side to the male side of those two pistols. He has steel wool, rubber washers, and assorted knickknack items and whatnot. Quarter-pound C4, yes.
yep,
Yes.
I just wanna
No
make sure I got the
detonator.
Weight value, but no
no
detonator.
detonator.
A capacity for a flash unit. Cough.
Yep.
He hasn't, and a knife, and you've gotten a knife. Sorry,
Yes.
Carmen's gotten a knife.
Yes.
Yasmin have a knife? Or Pravada? How do you pronounce the name, Dan?
Be Pravana.
Pravana, okay. And you are looking for a pistol?
Yes, some sort.
We're looking for World War II era German pistols, most likely.
Yeah. You.
Most common current German pistol is the Walther PP. PPK was available during World War II, as was the P38. Maybe lucky, there's a Luger in there.
There is no Luger in there. There was such
okay.
prize possessions
they
for
were
U.S.
take-home
Army.
things.
Yeah,
Um,
there is no luck roll that's gonna get you a Luger.
There's the Mauser HSC, which is a small concealable semi-automatic pistol. I don't remember what caliber. I think 32 ACP. Russian stuff, the Nagant is a big revolver. It's not a tiny thing. But it does have some very specific uses that are very interesting. which is why Chase took one. Let's see here. What else kind of pistols should we find in there? TT-33 is 7.62 by 25, which
Let's
is...
say easily concealable, easily handleable.
That would
Yeah.
probably be the Mauser HSC.
Yep.
All right, that's what she's taking.
I'll take one too. If there is two. If not, then I'll take something else that is something that can be put in my coat pocket.
The HSC, which it was a common enough gun that there's two. That being said, can I get a luck roll from both of you in terms of ammo? Because that does use 7.65. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jay.
It's 32 ACP or
Okay.
380 ACP, depending on which is 9 by 17 short or 7.62 by 17, which is 32 ACP.
Okay. They do have a reasonable stock of ammo. I would say about 200 rounds of ammunition if you wanted for those HSC pistols.
Cool.
Excellent.
Make sure you are writing this down on your character sheet. I am not going to write it down for you. We'll figure out what the actual damage stats are another time because we are a little bit over time. So,
All right, what's the pistol called again?
Mauser HSC.
yes.
Mauser.
And since you guys also wanted combat knives, just put U.S. Army combat knife. Jay, I assume you've been taking care of your sheet?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Mouse.
Well, I've actually got it on another page, but yeah, I'll add it to my sheet.
Please and thank you. Because that'll help me take care of, or keep track of it as well.
Okay, so I think that's everything we can probably get away with. I'm not sure it's worth it to go to the communication check and risk it right now. We have enough leads to follow up.
That's
Cool.
between you guys. If you want to do that real quick, we can. If not, then I think we're going to call it for the night because it is about 20 minutes over.
Yeah.
That's
Calling it for the evening, yes, would be good.
Okay.
I need to pick up dinner.
All right. Then,
This has been a successful evening.
it has been a successful evening. Didn't quite go the direction I expected, but honestly, I enjoyed the way it went. I think everybody did well tonight. Dan, I went ahead and gave you the gold coin for the night for
What?
the really nice retelling of what happened the previous session. So you are currently up to 3 gold coins because you got 2 tonight, 1 for arriving early and then 1 for volunteering to help me in the beginning.
nice. Experience streaming shit.
There you go. Jay, you're at 3 gold coins as well because you got an extra 1 for being here on early. Angie, you've got a spiritual gold coin. Your husband will cash in on that tonight. Well, you'll cash in that on your husband, I assume. I don't know. That's up between you two.
Cash it in on me
Yeah.
as I cash in on her.
There we go.
Well, Jay, you're doing the weird shit tonight.
Damn Skippy.
After, well, what? 12 years of marriage, what's weird anymore?
That being said,
Yeah, weird's relative. I'm sorry.
before we go, there are a couple things I do want to say. One, I would like to thank Darby, a resident artist and good friend of mine who actually did tokens for everybody, as well as NPCs and enemies, and they have come out
Yay.
really fantastic. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to use them tonight. Like I said, this kind of went in an unexpected direction for me. But I would like to thank her very much for the effort she put into them. And also, if anybody,
Thank you.
yeah, if anybody has any art needs, she's taking commissions right now. She's a good artist. I recommend.
And I don't have any coins, by the way.
You haven't been early. You didn't do your the background stuff. You need to earn the coin, Anna. Get here early next session. I'll give you a gold coin. I promise. Okay.
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 Alrighty. So, that's the first thing I wanted to say. Second thing I wanted to say, if you enjoy tabletop games being streamed on a weekly basis, please check out twitch.tv/RueCinnamon for a 13th Age fantasy game in which I am the player and Dan is the GM, and he does a much better job than me. Just, you can laugh at how bad I fucked this shit up. Like, I fucked it up compared to his campaign.
You're a much better player than I am.
Well, anyways, thank you folks for tuning in. I hope you all have a good night.